Yes, guys, what's going on? Apologies, I've been away. I've had a throat infection, which meant I couldn't talk, which was shit. And then, strangely, I got so much wax in my ears from the infection that I couldn't hear. And when you can't hear yourself talk. And I was doing that deaf thing, you know, and you're just kind of murmuring words. You can't really hear what you're saying. So I was like, I can't make content like this. But today I made 4 new videos, so they'll be coming out tomorrow and, you know, the days following that. But I figured while they're being kind of edited, put together, rendered and whatnot, I might as well sit here and talk to you guys. And I had the perfect inspiration. Somebody sent me a video about a woman saying, they said to this woman, she lives in Vancouver, how much would you need your man to be, or your boyfriend to be making per year for him to become your husband? And she said around about 100,000. And this is one thing that's really starting to fucking piss me off about modern men, okay? Is all these guys are in the comments, 100,000, oh, you silly bitch, and all this stuff, like, oh, so men like me would never reach that level, most men will never get to that level, oh, all I need is a Gucci bag. Stop, okay, because 100,000 Canadian, let's just get that right, she lives in Vancouver, 100,000 Canadian is like, I haven't done the conversion, but I lived in Toronto for 2 years, so I'm guessing it's south of 60k. Okay, it's probably about 58,000, right? In sterling, in pounds. In US, maybe closer to like 65,000, 70,000, something like that, right? But in UK terms, because I know that a lot better, 58,000 per year, right? Very good money, but just above average. Let's be honest, right? If the average in the UK now is about, I think it's something like 37,000, and it's probably just gone up, but it's 37,000 the last time I checked. So 58, you know, it's not crazy money. It's just like anybody who's put any sort of little bit of work in can reach that level. Like, I didn't go to university. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Before I started actual businesses and I had 9-to-5 jobs, I was on 50, 60,000 per year. As a 26, 27-year-old man, I just put a little bit of work in, stayed later in the office. It's not that hard to do. But like, this is the one thing that's pissing me off about modern men, is modern men are saying we want to be more masculine. We want our masculine rights back. Women should be more feminine again and play the submissive role. But then when a woman says, I want you to be making 58,000 per year, you're like, oh, that's terrible. You shouldn't be asking me to pay that much. You shouldn't be asking me to earn that. It's really difficult. I'll be paying all the bills and buying Gucci bags. It's not a lot to ask. It really isn't. That's like, that kind of money amongst men, because if you took women out of the average earners, because they get slightly lower, the average man in the UK probably earns around about 40,000 per year. You know, so you're talking about just being slightly above the average man. Isn't that what most guys want anyway? To just be like, nobody wants to be average. So just put like a year or two of work in, you'd probably be earning that money. And I just think, you know, as men, we've kind of lost, I can't get comfortable here, guys. There's probably the virus hitting my shoulders. I trained shoulders today and immediately they start hurting. But we've lost this competitiveness. We've lost this desire to wanna do more. Like I think men have forgotten that in order to sleep with women, and the most beautiful women, you need to do something which is called compete, okay? And competition's great. Like, you punch me in the face, I'll punch you, and the winner walks away with the W. Like, that's since the beginning of time, that's been something that we've had. But suddenly, in this era, everybody wants to be, I'm the alpha male. You know, I'm this alpha male character, I'm a top 1% high value man, she should want me. But then when it's put towards somebody, you should earn 58,000 per year. And yeah, I've not pulled that figure out my arse, but I've guessed. It's probably very close because, like I said, I lived in Toronto. And when you say to them 58,000 per year, oh, that's too much, you're asking too much out of me. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding? Like, if that's all you have to do and you're still too lazy and you're still pissed off, I feel like a lot of modern men are just full of excuses, personally. You know, you've got to understand the whole idea is, and you've got to get over this, women are competing with each other on beauty. Okay, they're competing with each other there. But there's so many beautiful women to go around, they're all going to end up with somebody. It's just the nature of the world. Fast forward 15 years and a lot of them will be divorced. Look at Shakira and Piqué right now. Shakira, one of the hottest women on the planet, famous as fuck. He's got rid of her, traded her off, right? So there's swings and roundabouts. It happens to everyone. Everyone gets their time in the sun, so to speak. But for some reason, it's, you know, we know that women have this ability. We know that they have that luxury when they're young. And the whole idea of becoming a man is to work hard, to be disciplined, to be patient, to put the work in, to rise up that ladder, to compete with other men, to get in better shape than other men, to earn more money than other men, to get better assets, to, you know, improve your personality, your confidence levels, the way you dress, etc. It's all a competition, very much based on status and things like that. What you have, what you earn, titles, whatever, accomplishments. But for some reason, no. Not anymore. Not anymore. You should just have me just because. And there's so many disgruntled guys in the comments that I was looking at. People might be sat here now, okay, if you're a lot younger, you might be making 25,000 per year. You're in a tough town. Okay, I get that. You're in a tough place where money doesn't come easy. And you're hustling away and you're like 58,000. Shut the fuck up, Chris. It might be easy for you, but it was never easy for me. My mum had 4 jobs. Okay, we were in the same situation where 58,000 to us would have changed the game, would have changed both of our lives. Okay, I worked my balls off and now I make over 58,000 every single month, right? And that just comes from hard work, that just comes from discipline. Is everybody going to be able to do that? No. But could you get a job if you put 5 years of work in, which is going to give you 58,000 plus per year? With ease. Like with ease. Like you'd be shocked. 1 or 2 qualifications, staying late at the office, actually going for a promotion, actually applying yourself for the first time in your life, not staying up till fucking 3 in the morning playing video games and smoking weed, actually getting up at 5 a.m, going to the gym, having a clean diet, actually imposing yourself in the office to becoming one of the leaders in there and actually taking your shit seriously. 2 promotions, bang, you're done. Do you know what I mean? And now suddenly, and here's the thing, you say 58,000, oh, it's too much. You'll be on, if you do what I just said there, you'll be on 100,000, you know, per year, which close to like 180,000 Canadian. I don't know why people don't realize, like and this is a gift, okay? This is actually a gift. Let's not make this a negative video, because otherwise it's fucking stupid, isn't it? It's a gift. Okay, like if you were to look at the average guy is lazy as fuck. The average guy does nothing, okay? And I've always said, if you would just put 1% effort in, 5% effort in, if you put the minimal amount of effort in, you'll rise up pretty quickly. That's how lazy the average guy is. And it's a giant benefit. Like obesity rates on the rise, people who are overweight on the rise. Male depression on the rise. It's like the level of competition out there is the lowest it has probably ever been, okay? You know, the guys who are making 58,000 and above, they're probably pussies, either way. Like, I doubt they're going to be in great shape and have their whole lives together and whatever. So it's probably like some IT nerds or some accountant or something like that. You can get to that level where you're making 58, 59, 60,000 per year or above. And you can get in shape. Okay, now suddenly you're probably top 5% of men. Like, it's probably not that difficult, okay? And the fact that men are out here complaining, I'll never understand that. So you want to be a man. You want to fuck the most beautiful women. But you get pissed off when women make demands. Well, that's life. That's normal. And the demands will only get higher the more attractive the women become as well, because they know they can get away with it because that's all they've ever had all their life. It's what they're used to. So here's the thing. If you're sat there and you're going, this woman wants 100,000 Canadian per year, that's unacceptable. That's ridiculous. Well, fine. We'll go and settle for the ugly women, because that's where you're going to end up. Okay, that's quite literally where you're going to end up. The system is very pure. It works based on merit and logic. Okay, so if you have a woman who's a straight 10 out of 10, like I said before, I don't like using the scale, but we all get it. We all understand what that means. And you're a guy who's worked his balls off all his life and you've risen up to the top of society, it's highly likely she's going to find you attractive. It's highly likely that you two are going to be paired off at some point. Now, there's other guys, so it's not a guarantee she's just going to go for you, but you're a consideration. You're probably going to be in the same venue she's going to be in, etc. If you're a guy who thinks 58,000 per year is a problem and you're never going to be able to reach that, and women's demands are unfair and it's too much and it's got out of hand and I don't want to buy a Gucci bag, which, you wouldn't be able to get with 58,000 anyway. You might be able to get 1, 2, so don't be silly. Then, yeah, you're going to have to settle for the girls that nobody really wants. You're going to have to settle for like 4s and below because I just don't understand where the state of competition's gone. Now, in an idealistic world, wouldn't it be great if women were like, that guy's broke, he's got a great personality, I really like him. Yeah, it would be great. And there's women out there like that. But you got to remember, she's got kids that she wants to have, first and foremost. Then she wants to raise, then she has to fend for. And the woman said in the video, like, Vancouver's expensive, I need at least that much money. And she didn't say that I would sit on my ass and do nothing. She's saying, like, I might have a good job, I might have savings too. I'm sure she'd include that. But when I'm giving birth and when I'm pregnant and whatnot, I'm not going to be able to be at work. I need somebody who's making enough for the both of us. That's fair. She's not shouting, I need a guy who's making $1 million a year. She's saying £58,000 per year, 100,000 Canadian. I just don't think that's too much of a demand. But for some reason, we've got all these guys in this modern era now. Everything's a fucking problem to them. Everything's a complaint. Everything's a problem. Everything's an issue. It's like, that's the price to pay. I don't go into an expensive restaurant and go, how much? Oh, I don't know. It's a bit, how dare you charge those prices? I'm like, well, I walked into your fucking establishment. You bothered to cook it. You must use top level ingredients. I wanted to go into somewhere classy and nice and I brought this beautiful woman out. I'm not going to then complain about the price. I'm not going to go and buy a Ferrari and be like, but it's stupid, it's just a hunk of metal. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the price of Ferraris. Like, that's just what you pay to get one. There's the benefits that come with it, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? And I don't get why people, you're asking for a woman to be with you and nobody else for the rest of her life. That's got to come with a price of some sort. Okay, I'm going to be with you forever, and you don't have a single penny to your name. Let's have 6 kids and live in a fantasy land. It's not going to work, is it? It's just not going to happen. When you say it like that, you go, oh yeah, fuck, I'm being a moron. So all of you guys out there that are just always complaining, look, I'm on your side in the sense of, is it fair that a beautiful 20-year-old woman can just show up in a nightclub, get taken home by a multi-millionaire, she gets married, next thing you know, she's just living the perfect life, getting flown around the world. It's not fair. However, if the guy is rich enough and doesn't give a shit and is willing to make that happen, then what choice do we have? If one guy does it, well, then other women expect it. And then she expects it from the next guy. So it's kind of our own fault. We've kind of made it happen. We've built this bed, so we're going to have to lie in it, right? So that's the nature of the game. And as a guy who is now on the other side of the fence, who is making good money, if I met a woman who ticks every box that I require her to tick and I wanted to have kids, which will probably happen soon as I'm 30 years old, so within the next 10 years or so, and she said to me, I just want to stay home and raise these kids and be a great mother, I'd be like, well, yeah, I'll pay all your fucking bills, I don't care, right? So I don't get where the problem lies. It's, a woman is setting a price above her head to be with you and to be locked off. She's got hundreds and thousands of options and the price to be with you forever, and it's not even that high. And guys are getting pissed off about it. I find that weird. Especially as masculine men with testosterone who, everything we do should be in the spirit of competition. And I'm telling you guys, like, some of you might not like this message. You might get pissed off. Chris, why aren't you siding with the men? I've always had this opinion, I have. But one thing that you have to get out of your system is blaming women for everything. You can't sit there and be like, but women's demands these days are so high. They just expect so much. They want, like, if I made videos like that, I'd probably have like 10 million subscribers, okay? I've been in this game so long, I probably could have built up a huge following, let people who are under 18 see my videos, probably could have built up a huge following. I don't want to become one of those channels, I don't want to become one of those guys, and I'm telling you, it doesn't benefit you, it doesn't help your life. How many of these guys that are out here who are going, fuck women, fuck all this stuff, like they demand too much. The problem with women these days, how many of those guys are actually getting laid? How many of those guys do you always see with beautiful women? Like, one of them? Maybe the two Tates, they're always with women, but I'm not sure they're saying it quite like that. But how many of these negative, almost like black pill guys are you seeing with women? So they're saying all this stuff and you're following them and you're getting excited, but how many of them are actually getting results? Because I don't really see a lot of it. So my advice to you guys is you either play the game or you get left behind, because other guys are willing to pay it. Other guys have got absolutely no issue with putting a little bit of work in, rising up in the spirit of competition, making 400,000-500,000 per year and going, I got you, babe. 3 kids, 4 kids, sit at home, don't worry, I'll fund everything. And it's like, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you go, it's not fair, but yeah, but everyone else is paying it. Everyone else is willing to do it and you're sat there going, it's not fair. So unless you're willing to settle and go for somebody you don't really want, or unless you're willing to be alone for the rest of your life, you're going to have to at some point pay that price. Okay, oh, it's not fair because it's a diminishing asset. Agreed, but honestly, what other choice do you have? You know, you can be gay, you can have sex robots, you can be alone forever, you know, or you can pay the price, which seems like quite a small price for life's ultimate goal of having children with somebody you genuinely like. I don't think it's I don't think it's too much to ask. I really don't. You know, put that in reverse. If we were saying to women, we just want you to not be fat, right? There's something similar. It's on the same sort of scale. But, you know, if a woman complained about that, oh, that's not fair, I'd be like, come on. That's not hard, is it? Clean up your diet, go to the gym 2-3 days a week. You don't need the muscle that we have. 6 months, you'll probably look great. Right? I would be on the same point of view. I'd be like, well, come on. Stop being lazy. I would say the same thing to women, okay? And when it comes to men, she's asking for £58,000 per year. And guys are kicking off in the comments. Well, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want a part-time job and supermodels are lying all over you? Because personally, I wouldn't want to live in a world like that. You know when people say, oh, socialism, everybody can be equal. I hate that idea. I love capitalism. I love the idea of the harder you work and the smarter you are and the better your investments, the higher up that you can rise. I love that shit. I hate the idea of universal basic income and everybody gets the same amount of money and we're all equal and whatever. That's bullshit. Because if I'm willing to work harder than you, if I've got higher testosterone than you, and I'm willing to do 18 hours a day, 7 days per week for 10 years, and I put myself in a situation where I'm worth 100 million, I don't expect the women that I'm sleeping with to also be sleeping with you. I don't expect the women that I'd be sleeping with to also be sleeping with that average guy on the street who complains about everything. I'd be like, well, what the fuck did I do all this for? I don't expect to work all those hours for 10 years to make massive reinvestments of 600,000 every 6 months, which I've just done, and then be sat there in traffic in my Ferrari, look right, and there's an average guy with a Ferrari too. Why? Because the government just went, you can have one too, because it's not fair otherwise. I'd be pissed off. So it's like, what are you willing to work for? I'll never understand it, guys. I think the passion in men is gone. The fire has gone. The level of competition has gone. We don't want to compete with each other anymore. I don't know what it is. It's strange. I like competing with people. I like confrontation, however it's done. I like it in a business sense. I like, not time-wasting arguments, but I like arguments that are quite vicious. I quite like that stuff. I don't mind having a scrap with somebody. I just think that's normal to a man. That's, you know, I don't mind when I used to work in a workplace, two of you going for the same job, and it's like the most successful one out of the two of you will get the job. I quite enjoy that sort of stuff. It makes my balls tingle. But there's guys today that are like, oh, it's bullshit, they're making us compete, it's horrible, it's ruining our friendship. What friendship? This is business, this is war. You've got to take what you can. Because if a lot of guys don't understand, it's like, let's say you have a beautiful girlfriend, okay, you two split up. Let's say you've got 20 close friends. At least 5 or 6 of those friends are going to hit up your ex-girlfriend. They're going to try and talk to her at some point. They're going to say, hey, look, I think he's an idiot for breaking up with you. If I was with you, you know, and all that bullshit behind your back, okay? When they bump into her, when they text her, just checking in if you're okay, because obviously we became friendly while you two were together. They're trying to fuck. Once you realize that about the world, you know, you can start being a little bit more competitive. And like I said, if you don't want to play the game, well, then sit on the sidelines. Fall behind. Because there's other men who are vicious, who are willing to play it. And once somebody's willing to play, well, then women have got something to bargain with. I'm beautiful, I've got sex appeal. If you want to have kids with somebody who's got the best genetics, who looks the best, who you can show off, well, then my price is around about this amount per year, and I will not date anybody below that. Fair enough, you might not like women like that, but like I said, that's the nature of the game. She's thinking about kids, she's thinking about starting a family, house, certain level of lifestyle, protection. You know, if you're a beautiful woman, I was just talking to a girlfriend of mine just now. Beautiful woman, she's got a stalker. Okay, so she needs a guy who doesn't live in a backyard shed. Okay, she's gonna need a guy who's big, muscular, who's got, you know, a house that's gated, you know, in a safe community. It's just little things like that men don't consider. It's like, it's all in the spirit of competition. Look what I can do for you. Look what I can provide. That's the price of pussy, I'm afraid, boys. If you're not willing to pay it, fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. But other guys will, and you will fall behind. And it's just a game that we play. And I you know, it's sad to see the level of competition that has been kind of weaned out of men. I find it really sad. Like, some of you may disagree with the total, but I think 58,000 per year is pocket change. Oh, it's easy for you to say that now, but I always did when I was young. When I remember I was broke and some guy said, oh, this guy's rich. He was talking about someone else. I was like, oh yeah? How much does he make a year? Oh, like 80,000. And I was like, what? And he was like, well, you don't earn anything. You're broke, you're unemployed. And I was like, yeah, but still not a lot of money. And I never thought it was like hard to achieve. So you got to set your sights higher. Like if you can't get a job, which is 58,000 per year or higher, come on. Like, it's not that hard to do. Like, couple qualifications, stay late at the office, turn up early. Like, ask the boss, is like, how do I get a promotion? I want to push up in this company. Like, as a business owner myself, if you were saying that to me, I want to rise up, I want more money, I want to do more for this company, I'd be like, yeah, sure. Like, I'm going to start looking for opportunities. And when opportunities pop up, you might be one of the first names that I think of. It's not fucking hard to do. It's not hard to do.